Boy, it sure feels like everything is hitting an inflection point when it comes to Oakland sports lately. Congrats to the Ballers announcing their new home, the Oakland Roots on the verge of figuring something out before having the rug pulled out from under them. More on that in another video later today. Huge story that is going to be vastly underreported. I'm already telling you right now. The A's, this is really interesting. They returned to the table in Oakland to talk lease extension. I told you in a previous video what the city would ask for in return. I was told by people inside the meeting that it was cordial, it was quick, another meeting is going to be scheduled. But what I do know for sure right now is that the mayor's office and the Major League Baseball commissioner's office are in touch. They spoke prior to the meeting and spoke after the meeting, with it reassured to the commissioner's office what the city would like to see as a result of these negotiations in order to keep the A's in Oakland in 2025, 2026, and 2027, presuming they have a new home ready in Vegas by 2028. If the city is going to extend that lease, it's going to need to be more than just a deal for Fisher's half of the land at market value. That's also happening. I have sources from the A's telling me that AASEG and them are going to meet to discuss that land transaction. That is happening. So, what does the city want for Major League Baseball? It's the same thing I told you they'd ask for in a previous video. I was right. They want an expansion team, or they want the team name and colors to stay here. More importantly, they just like the A's to stay. That's what they would like the most under a new ownership group. Joe Lacob again reiterating to Tim Kawakami he would be interested in buying the A's if they were for sale. Major League Baseball has Joe Lacob right there, and they don't want him? This guy is one of the most prolific owners in all of sports. He wants to buy the A's. He's always wanted to buy the A's. He actually worked in the A's front office when he was in college. He's always had a goal to buy this team. He's reiterated it over and over and over again. He's friends with John Fisher. John Fisher could probably even get a share of the Warriors in a deal. So we'll see what happens with that. So far, nothing. So far, nothing, to be very clear. Lacob wants it. It is not for sale. That's always been the position. But it is interesting to note that the commissioner of Major League Baseball did speak yesterday, and he seems frustrated with the progress by the A's in finding a home. They need the schedule for Major League Baseball to be set by July for the 2025 season. They have a club that doesn't know where it's going to play. Here's what Evan Drellick reported in The Athletic. There's conflicting considerations that kind of point you one direction or point you another direction, Manfred said, so it's not an easy choice as to where to be, but I do think they have been thorough in terms of exploring their alternatives. According to Drellick, Manfred said Thursday that the 2025 schedule is to be finalized by July, so the league needs to know where the A's are going to play next year before then. Before July. Also in this article, very interestingly, Manfred described the A's Vegas stadium site as adequate. Adequate. Not exactly a ringing endorsement. Here's what Manfred said about that, as asked by Evan Drellick. We believe that parcel's adequate for a major league ballpark, Manfred said. I think the delay in the renderings is due to the discussions between Bally's and the A's as to how the ballpark and what else is going to happen there is going to be most efficiently designed to make it the best possible experience for fans. I wouldn't read too much into that. According to Howard Stutz of the Nevada Independent, the MGM CEO has seen 3 different versions of the renderings. They have to figure out how Bally's is going to situate their development around the ballpark on the Strip, on a small parcel of land in a very congested area. Still lots of questions to be answered there, but for now, I'm focused on Oakland. I still think Vegas is likely for 2028, but it is shaky at best. For Oakland, why would they extend the lease with the A's if they're not getting something significant in return? An agreement to sell their half of the land to AASEG would be a big concession, but it would do nothing for Bay Area sports fans, for Oakland sports fans that are trying to keep their A's. It would do nothing. So I don't think it would be a popular move, but it would be something. Again, that's why, as sources told me, the mayor's office has reiterated to Rob Manfred's office that they want either the A's to stay here, keep the A's name and colors, or expansion. Those are the top priorities. Much, Much more coming on this channel. Things are going crazy with this Oakland situation. Way too much to track. And I'm going to have a lot more here a little bit later on what is going on with the Oakland Roots.